Hey everybody, Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes. And coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, severe weather is going to be front and center tonight in the plains, in the Carolinas, and in Central Florida. And we'll also be talking about the upcoming weekend where there might be some gloom and doom, but well, maybe not. Keep our fingers crossed. That is all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. And as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have severe thunderstorm watches up for parts of South and North Carolina, as well as for Central Florida. Flood watches now again going up for areas from East Texas into southern Louisiana as more rain is due there. Much of the rest of the country is on the quiet side, at least if it is precipitating. It's not to any kind of threshold that requires a watch or a warning. And of course, in the Northeast, we've got a low developing off the Delaware coast. You can kind of see the low level swirl here of this very slow moving system. A lot of clouds around. We had some rain. Some areas north and east of New York City still getting some rain out of this, and nothing especially heavy. We've got some lightning strikes in eastern North Carolina, also now in western North Carolina. That those storms are going to be moving into the severe thunderstorm watch area, and we have thunderstorms running across central Florida. This slow moving system still is going to be lingering around tonight and Thursday, and you might even see some rain getting pushed back westward, keeping it pinned in areas in southern and southeastern New England, Long Island, and maybe for coastal New Jersey. Uh, Maybe as you go further inland and west, especially during the day on Thursday, things will be a bit better. And here's what it looks like on the radar as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got rain over Long Island and southern and southeastern New England. Much of New Jersey is dry. We've got rain in parts of upstate New York into Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. Then we go further south, and you can see the rotation here in eastern Kentucky and southern Ohio. That's the upper low moving eastward. That's going to be the trigger mechanism for the severe weather that we're thinking we're going to see in parts of North Carolina. And then, of course, we move down to Florida. There's a frontal boundary here producing some showers and thunderstorms and the potential for some severe weather. And then tonight, as a new disturbance moves into the plain states, the southern plains, we're likely to see some showers and thunderstorms there with some severe weather. Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk of severe weather tonight in parts of northwest Texas into Oklahoma and a small portion of south central Kansas. There's a 2% tornado risk there, a small area of 2%. Also, 2% tornado risk in North and South Carolina and in Central Florida. As far as tomorrow is concerned, we've got a slight risk running across West Texas, eastward into East Texas, and through Louisiana and parts of Mississippi. And there's a marginal risk surrounding that, marginal risk in South Florida, marginal risk in the middle Mississippi Valley, and a marginal risk in southern Wisconsin. Tornado risk tomorrow is 2 to 5% in that area from Texas over into Louisiana, 2% in southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, and portions of western Kentucky. And then as we move on to day three, which is Friday into Saturday, we're seeing marginal to slight risk pushing up through from the central Gulf states northeastward into the Tennessee Valley and into parts of the lower Ohio Valley. As far as rain is concerned, and remember that the area across the Gulf states has gotten significant rain in the last week. Well, they're going to get more significant rain on the order of several to maybe as much as 6 inches, particularly in a band from East Texas eastward into west central Alabama. Inch and a half amounts pushing up into the Ohio Valley. Also, inch and a half amounts in parts of West Virginia and Virginia. In the Northeast, we see areas inland that are not really showing very much, a quarter of an inch or even in some cases less, because of the system that's impacting southern and southeastern New England tonight into tomorrow. There's an extra added bonus of precip here. So that's why you see inch and a half rainfall amounts being indicated over the next 7 days. And then they tail off a bit as you go north and west. Half to 3/4 of an inch from southern New Jersey and western Pennsylvania. And then you've got these areas of an inch and a half in Virginia and North Carolina. Inch and a half plus amounts from eastern Nebraska northeastward into Wisconsin. and some heavier precip also up in the northern Rockies, extending uh, into Canada. This, by the way, is actually welcome news for the rainfall that's being indicated on this map, at least in southern Canada, because of the dry conditions there, and there've been some wildfires that have started popping up. So we can only hope that the pattern is wet for areas in the western half of Canada. So here's our low tonight, and we're taking a look here at the GFS. The new GFS from this afternoon. Again, that low lingers overnight. You see rain over Long Island, rain in southeastern New England into Thursday morning, but go from New York City west, and you really don't see much of anything. Still some precip backing westward. So I think we're going to be, if we're not seeing rain tomorrow, we're still going to be in an area of lots of clouds through Thursday afternoon. And then finally, during Thursday night, we'll see weather conditions improve with skies starting to clear as that low drops southeastward. Meanwhile, you'll also notice that we've got some storms, big storms forming tomorrow from East Texas into Louisiana and Mississippi. That's that area of heavy rain we indicated, also up into parts of Oklahoma and into southern Kansas. In the east, Friday looks like a nice day. Finally, we're going to squeeze in a nice day. Then for the weekend. Now, we've been watching this next system coming out of the southern plains, and the models have gotten a little bit more suppressed with this. They have some rain coming up into Virginia and Pennsylvania Saturday morning, and a little bit of that pushes up into northeastern Pennsylvania Saturday afternoon. You see it there in southern New Jersey, and then suddenly it's gone. The main energy looks like it might wind up being further south. It may not be a picture perfect weekend because we'll have an onshore flow, and that means probably lots of clouds. But as far as steady rain is concerned, if this is correct, we may not get a much rain out of this low if it winds up staying more to the south and then dropping southeastward off the North Carolina coast. Well, that's all a subject for debate tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. So be sure to tune us in. That's at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time.